Hey there, what's up? In today's episode of Road to AWS, we will be talking about what are the basic requirements of AWS Solutions Architect Associate certification, what are the expectations of the certification from you as an individual, the question weightage in the exam, and what's the scoring. So if you are someone who actually works on AWS and has a responsibility to design products on the cloud architecture using AWS, this certificate is the best fit for you. It'll help you design highly available, cost-effective applications. And with the knowledge that you gain with this, you will be able to smartly use the features that AWS provides. So as I already mentioned here, like for individuals who perform a solution architect role, so have 1 or more years of hands-on experience designing highly available, cost-effective, and fault-tolerant systems, which are scalable distributed systems on AWS. So having said that, it's not a mandate that freshers or inexperienced persons can't take this certificate. The only thing is that in a big organization where you have architects already working, maybe you may not get the opportunity, but having this knowledge gives you the edge over others. So what are the things that the certificate demands of you? So how to architect and deploy secure and robust applications on AWS technologies. So you need to gain the knowledge on how to do this using AWS, and the certificate, the questions on the certificate will be surrounded on that itself. Provide implementation guidance based on the best practices. So in any organization, the first and foremost role is to provide a solution, and if you have read the tutorials properly and you have read the white papers properly and you have knowledge on how basically the services work, you can give a proper solution and you can provide the best practices as well based on the knowledge that you gain from them. So define solutions using architectural design principle based on the customer requirement. So this is the third point, but this is the first and foremost, and maybe this is the one of the points that the organization would ask of you, to basically keep the customer's requirement in mind and design an architecture which will help and which will be close to what the customer requirements are. So there is one more thing that is very important to note is a new version of the AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate exam will be available in March 2020. So there might be some changes, so try to give this exam before that itself. I am sure that you will be giving it before that, but if there are any changes that come up, I'll be putting this across in the channel. What are the recommended knowledge and experience that you need to have? So first point that we have here is hands-on experience using compute, networking, storage, and database AWS services. So don't worry about this. In the tutorial session, we will be covering all of this, like how to use the EC2, how to use the load balancer, how to use Route 53 and everything, and the database part as well. So this point will be covered undoubtedly. So hands-on experience with AWS deployment and management services, don't worry about this. We will be covering this as well. And understanding of the global infrastructure service. So based on the regions that AWS provide, we will be having a hands-on on how to put them on different locations. So this will be covered. An understanding of security feature and tools that AWS provides and how they relate to traditional services. Basically like the security groups and other things that AWS provides, we will be having a look at that also. So this is basically an overview of the recommended knowledge and experience that you have, that you should have before giving the exam. So the next thing that we have here is important things to remember about the exam. SAA C01. SAA means Solutions Architect Associate. C01 is the code for the exam, and basically the format will be of multiple choice, and you will get a question, a scenario, and there will be like 4 multiple choice answers, and basically these scenarios are basically wait for the certificate to judge you that whether you have understood the concept or not. You cannot say that A will be the right answers immediately, because there might be scenarios that particularly relate to the question that they have asked. So you cannot randomly guess like, yeah, A will be the answer or B will be the answer. You have to go through all the questions and all the answers that they have put each and read them one by one, so that you need to understand like what scenario fits to the particular question. So the type of exam is associate, and the cost is around $150 US, and we have the practice exams as well, which you can get on the AWS site for $20. So when you convert that into rupees, it is around 10,667 on December 9th. So time that you have is 130 minutes. So there will be 65 questions and you will get 130 minutes to complete them. So the delivery method is basically like going to a test center and giving the exam. That's what I would advise you, to go to a test center and give the exam. There are a lot of test centers available across India. You can log into the site of AWS certifications, and we'll be looking into this in the upcoming tutorials on how to book or schedule a particular exam. Don't worry about that. And the languages that are available are like like Japanese, English, Korean, and simplified Chinese. So we are going to be going with English, isn't it? So the next thing is the results and exam weightage distribution. So there are like 5 domains that you can see. One is the design resilient architecture that carries the highest number of marks, like the 34% of the marks that you have, and define performant architecture covers 24%, specify secure application and architectures covers 26%, design cost optimized architecture covers 10%, and define operationally excellent architecture covers 6%. So total we have 100%, but the results are basically the scores that you get are from 100 to 1000, and the cutoff is basically 720. So when you go for any certification exam in any test center, they will give you a AWS registration ID, and once you complete the exam, you will be given you will be asked to fill a particular survey, how your experience has been, how many days you have been preparing for this, and ultimately once you complete the survey, and then you will get the result immediately, whether you have passed or you have failed. But they'll not give you the score if you have passed. The scores and everything will come like 1 or 2 days later. So these are the few important things that you need to understand and remember. So these things, once we are close to going for the exam, I'll be having another session where we will discuss all about this. Hey, we have completed the third part of Road to AWS. In the next episode, we will be starting off with AWS services. So that's really important and you don't want to miss any of that. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to that. Hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos that I post here. And do like, do subscribe, do comment on what you liked, what you didn't. And that's all from my side today. Signing off.